Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. I have to redo this recording. I've done so much work that I don't know where I started the recording anymore, and I have to redo everything. It's always a bit bad. I really need a second PC to kind of be able to do work recordings, kind of. I'm not good at this. So I have done more drone works. There are more drones here now, and you can see that the pipeline is gone. I went and remodeled my my tank here, the Bergepanzer. Did some weary work of it, removed the crane, added another gun, and then went out with it, drove 30 kilometers to remove the whole pipeline. It's all gone because we don't need it anymore. I have this drone sitting here now that I can basically start and then say, where is it? It is the... I hope they all didn't get renamed. So we have the Mars Ice Mine out there now. It transmits a signal and is able to accept this drone now. That we now have to start from here. I hope this is the right button. So this drone will now go off to the ice mine, get ice from there if it can already. I haven't figured out how to grab the ice. I'm hesitant to put in sorters to get this done. What I have done is I'm filling up the connector, and then I hope that all the stuff that can't be stored in the connector will be stored in the drone. So once this is full, the drone should be able to grab all the excess ice coming in. But it's a few minutes of flight for the drone. It is set up like the drone in orbit. It can go and start the whole... it can go and fly the whole way, come back, and it does this over and over again until I stop it. I have it stopped because for the experiment, if the whole thing works, I don't have enough ice right now. So we will let it fly, and when it comes back, we stop it again. Just letting you know. So it's set to 50 seconds. It should start any second now, hopefully. Come on. Yeah, there it goes. Now it is set to a loop. It will do that over and over and over again. Just fly to the ice mine, try to grab the ice. I've done some tests with sensors. In the meantime, that's kind of happened all in between the first recording that I did, where I just said, here, drone, thinks it's the same, but I have far more to show, because after here's a nice new drone, I went out to work on the pipeline, and that took ages. And the thing is, by the way, protected with a shield, because I have a lot of assertive buildings around that don't attack me anymore. So I hope that it doesn't anger anything, but it is out there now, flying the whole shebang the whole time. Then I went and did some work around the base, set up a new platform as a cargo drone port, basically. And you can see there's another drone that completely runs on hydrogen. Where could that go? We will take a look in a second. So again, this drone will fly the whole thing now. It takes a while because the drones respect the 100 meter per second speed limit. It's 95 or something. You can set it higher, but I don't want to have the drones crash into anything. I hope that the the normal speed limit is good, because again, this thing can just fly there over and over again and will happily do that. Sun is coming up. That's the crazy part. I've played for hours now without recording, in between me recording the first time and all that stuff. I worked on the ship, I put atmospheric thrusters on there, and I have done some more work around the hydrogen thrusters. Everything there is set. The next test I want to do is, can these drones fly to moving targets, or to targets that are not fixed in their position? So can I make drones that can fly to the carriers? That would be interesting, and also interesting, for example, for other ships, where I could maybe take drones with me that then are able to carry cargo back and forth or whatsoever. I know that they can't do that on a loop, but I want to be able to start a drone and then have that thing fly, do its work, and then maybe I can recall it. That would be amazing. I've done that a while ago with a mine on the alien planet, where I had a transmit signal that I could start a drone with, and then it would fly to a mining rig that I could reposition, and then I could call it back. And this drone is running on the same concept. This is a drone that has a small cargo container, or not a small, it has a medium cargo container, so it's not for crazy heavy cargo duty, but I mainly want to have it to bring in uranium if I need it. So there's a cargo container here in the middle. Let me go to this. It has its own O2 storage, or its own O2 dens. So the cargo container is empty. The base basically picked up the uranium that I brought down. The cool thing about this is that this runs on basically a next command. Sam has a command that can send a drone to the next port in the list, and this drone just has 2 ports. So when I send it, it goes to orbit, and when I call it again, it comes here, and then we can empty it out. We have to manually transmit cargo, but that's easily done from here, so we can just contact the anchor, wherever the anchor is. It's at the moment connected to the Empress, so it will be called the Empress, right? Pretty sure, or? Mars anchor! It's at the moment set to be the Empress. The whole thing again flies there, and then we can put stuff into its named cargo container so that we can bring whatever we need. By the way, the whole thing is done with this script. It's a transmit script. I could take a look by whom it is. So I am using the simpler transmit receive 2. Here's the link. It's if you look for transmit, you will find this. Let me just take a short look. It's by CJB, is that right? It's a simple script that really basically sets itself up. You just need named timer blocks. So the script calls for named timer blocks on a given. So it doesn't. Okay, let's explain it this way. We need the script on the base and as a transmitter, and we need the script on the drone as the receiver. It has underneath the buttons some timer blocks that are named specifically OD step, OD stop, That's the two things I can transmit to it right now. I could do more. The timer blocks, there seems to be no limit. It will activate everything that has that. So you really need to be specific with the naming of your stuff. You can go and say I want a specific channel that it calls out to. It's possible, but not really needed. The cool thing with it is that this thing can also receive now. So we could set up stuff on the base that then we can call from maybe our ship or something like that. Or do it for the carriers, do it for whatever we want. Neat thing. And it seems to work for the whole network that we have set up. So the drone again has the whole thing. You just need an antenna. There was a call for assigning the antenna to the block, but that's not possible anymore, and it doesn't seem necessary. You can see messages received, commands received, messages sent. You can send messages with it, but I really don't need messages sent. So now we can just use this button panel and have the whole thing fly off. And then it turns. It seems to be very overpowered, the drone, but with the hydrogen in there, I'm happy to have it. So the cool thing is now I can even stop it if I want. So the whole thing comes to a rest, and then I can call the next thing, and it will immediately fly back. That's neat. That's how I want my drones to work. It takes a while for Sam to work. And again, we could open hangar doors with it. We could do stuff like that with it. And more automation seems to be a way for me. I'm happy to have more things fly around and more things that I can open and close from a distance. So really easily done. I don't need the drone to be in orbit right now, but it would fly there. It can do that. I escorted it with my ship up to orbit and saw it arriving there. This ship is faster because the drones fly with just the slower speed, but this ship doesn't. I am thinking about adding the whole thing to the ice drone too. The ice drone seems to be arriving. That is neat. So we wait for it until it comes back. And one thing I want to set up is another drone to test out if we can send the drones to these things, for example. So I want to have a connector somewhere that a drone could connect to, and then we wait or we see if a drone can fly there. But where to put the connector? Maybe somewhere in the back, if there is a connector somewhere, or if we can connect it up. These things at the moment are not where they should be. I want to do more with the carriers at one point, but at the moment it's just, they are just too heavy on the system, on this old world. I don't know, I have 300 episodes or so on this world. It's time, I say. It's time at one point. I want to get the 1,000 full, and then I think we start something new. Okay, we will go and do this. Have a connector back here for... Let us get it in yellow, and then we just do this for straight. We curve it up, curve it down, or to the front again, and then we connect it to the system. If we can go somewhere with this, then we maybe can find a better position for the whole connector. It would be interesting to maybe have a connector somewhere on the deck, but the thing is, I need to design a drone that can go basically from the side position. So here, have a connector here on that thing, and have it then go fly to the point and dock then with a connector on the bottom. That should be possible. The Sam can do that. Sam just orientates wherever the connector is. So this works. We will name this already. Give it the Sam. I'm putting that in the back right now because then I can see it is LCD LCDR drone, something drone, land carrier drone, LCDR con, so that we can see it once it advertises. And then we need to put a programmable block somewhere, but where? That's a good space as any other space, so let us put it here. You can in this corner. Do we have an antenna? I'm pretty sure we have an antenna on here. So we could put another antenna on here. Assault antenna? Tiamat antenna, laser antenna, carrier. Okay, we will go with the Tiamat antenna and add the SAM tag to it. SAM. I don't know if it works over laser antennas. I'm not sure if that is a thing. So set this up. This is programmable block. We go and edit it. Browse scripts. SAM. Autopilot manager. And we don't need to check it. And we then do the whole SAM and advertise thing. Advertise. Now this thing makes itself known and lets everybody know that there is another dock on the thing. I need to take a look if this thing is named appropriately. Land carrier. That's good. It's still basically a grid, so it is still a movable thing. Now the question is, can we set up a drone to go there? We could copy this, build another version of it, but the land carrier is on the ground, so we don't need it to be... Oh, see, the other drone is coming back. I need to be ready for this. I think I will cobble together a quick drone with atmospheric thrusters. I I think for the carrier we need atmospheric thrusters. That would be the thing. Having it... We will have it connect there for now. But... yeah, a quick setup of a drone, and I will be back with you as soon as that is done. I still have this here, so we can do that. I will stop this drone once it arrives, and then we test out if the drone is able to fly there, fly back to our tower here. We will, by the way, rename this thing here and give it the SAM tag 2. The base is already advertising LCDR. Base con. So just so that we know what we are talking to. Oh, there is something coming in. I hate it. I hate it because I don't know what ships will attack us. If the assertives are now just set to wait until I attack them, or if it happens once they get too close or something like that. I'm not sure with the assertives anymore. Now that assertives are basically everywhere, I'm stressed a bit. Good. Let's wait until this is back, then we stop it, and it doesn't have ice yet. Again, I tested it out with sensors to then have it blow out stuff, but the drone will just not work with it. I think I need to have sorters on there, and I don't want to have sorters on there because then I can't really manually load and unload and have the whole trouble with the... Okay, now we can just stop it. Thank you. And keep it here until the connector there is full. Then I will test if I can grab the ice out of there, the excess ice, and hopefully bring it back to base so that we don't need the pipeline anymore. The pipeline is kind of another performance thing where I kind of wanted to remove it to save up on performance. A 30-kilometer pipeline, maybe not so good. Didn't help too much, and I'm not sure how much I'm offsetting the performance gain with adding a lot of the autopilot scripts. I hope that the scripts don't do anything when they're not in use. So maybe just the advertising, but I hope it works out that way. But let me build a drone, a small drone to be able to go there. Maybe I could use small thrusters. We will see. Let me do this. So this is absolutely not perfect as usual, but we have a drone now that hopefully is able to tip on its side without issues and all that stuff. I might just, because I will add more gyros. I have the feeling this needs to be twitchy. Good. So we have the navigation disabled here. That's the thing. We will go and control it and then use the remote control to set up the programmable blocks. So we go run and say screen. Then we go next and previous. That is basically to be able to use the screen here. I don't want to have this monster button set up on this thing because it needs to be small, and so we say that is select. We need these to set up the navigation. So that thing needs to know where it is supposed to go, and that's why we set this up so that it we can steer it. So now we go run, start, and we go run, stop, just so that we can start it, stop it from the remote control block. We can see here what we need to see. The small screen's always a bit problematic, but we want to definitely select the land carrier. Then we go next, and we go for Mars.Space, and down there we can see it is the LCDR port. Now we can go back to the screen. Setup done. So now this thing should be able to, I say that, be able to hopefully go to there without too much issue. So it's aligning. I hope it goes up, otherwise we will quickly stop it. See, it goes up, finds the connector, hopefully turns into it. Come on, turn into it. Yes. And then connects to it. Good, nice thing. So what we need next is a button panel. We take the old school button panel. I think that's what I took over here. We go old school with this. And on the button, we need to assign some of these timer blocks. So we need to go in, control panel, find the timers. We go LCDR step. We do that so that we know that we want it to go to the next step. And the next thing will be LCDR stop. Now we need to set up what these timers are supposed to do. That's for the transmit script. And the setup action will be, hopefully we can find. This will be bad. Okay, so we need to rename some other things. Programmable block. This one, we LCDR, we call it with that, and we call this with LCDR programmable block, just so that we know that these belong here, because if we set up the timers, we run into problems. Good. Step. What we need to call now is the programmable block with the LCDR programmable block SAM, and say you run start next. And the other one, the LCDR stop, is just set up with LCDR. And this is just called with stop. I have turned down the time because I don't know if the programmable block, the transmitter, is calling the start version of the timer or if it calls the trigger now. So I turned down the time so I don't have to wait for anything, because if I want to stop this thing quickly, then maybe maybe that's what we want to do. Let me refill energy. That runs out fast. Come on. Refuel me. Good. Now the next thing is we call the buttons, and we call the transmit programmable block. So the first one will run LCDR step. It's just as an argument in the run command, and LCDR stop. That's why we need to name them, because the thing will just grab everything that is in range. We might want to bring up the antenna range of that thing. Antenna. Because we want to be able to control it for a while. So now this should hopefully be set up. Let us just... You go to the next step. Go away from the connector. Turn. And then hopefully it goes over to the carrier. And hopefully this also works for when I move the whole thing. So it might be a bit problematic once I move the carrier. Why is it breaking the ground? It shouldn't be able to break the ground. Ugh. The Tiamat mod pack that I'm running with my logos and all that stuff is breaking my voxel destruction. I don't know why, but suddenly voxels can be broken again, but not by drills, but by other things. Could also be just old stuff. This worked, by the way. This worked really nice. And now I should be able to also call it back. I will make a test and move the carrier just a teensy bit, and then we let the drone fly there again. So now, see, the whole thing is moving. It should turn. And now it flies back. The cameras on there hopefully keep it away from ground and from grids around. So I hope that this helps. Now it turns back in and docks back up. I like the drones. I really like the drones. I hope that, again, the functionality with... Oh yeah, I talked about the not the leaks, the previews for the whole grid AI system for space engineers, and I have to say I'm waiting for more right now. I hope that there will be more in the future that we can see, and maybe have the update relatively quick, because all the stuff that we see right now is stuff that scripts can do as well. So the PC crowd might not be too impressed by now. For the Xbox crowd, this is definitely a huge thing, because not being able to use scripts, as far as I know, the Xbox crowd can't use scripts or something like that. There definitely is stuff like that is definitely needed. So can we unlock this? Hopefully without the whole thing flying away. I want to switch lock. Good. And now we drive it a few meters. Just again, we will just drive it a few meters so that we can see if the drone takes the new position of the whole thing. If it is aware of the new position. That is necessary for, yeah, us being able to send the drones out to eventually grids that are situated somewhere else. Come on. Turn off the handbrake. Move the whole thing. Ugh. This is... I love these carriers, but they are... Or the cruisers, the land cruisers, but they are slow. I need to find ways to make this more agile. It can't be. It's too big. It's just too big for this. Turn the handbrake back on. I hope it gets stopped before it rolls over that hill. Now we lock it again. We lock it down again so that we can hopefully landing gear and a battery. Maybe the landing gear is itself able to lock. It could be close enough. No, it isn't. Good. Now I'm running into a problem. Come on. Let me... Nah, that doesn't work. Go down the hill a bit. Bring it down a bit more. Turn this around. Hopefully this is now... Oh. Ah! Yeah, that's foiled. Foiled by the plans are foiled by my own. Need to bring this whole thing back a meter or two. So that I can position blocks below it. Underneath it. Yes. Thank you. The battery is just so that the built-in repair is not grabbing it. Thank you. Good. And now let's see if the drone moves there too. If it is able to grab that thing then too. It could be looking up the new position of the whole thing. I think it's looking for the position of the connector. The whole thing tells it, okay, I'm here at this and this position. Hopefully this works, and hopefully this is not flying into something now. Go up. Thank you. It is doing it. It is flying to the new position. So we can make drones now that can refuel or rearm or whatsoever these carriers. That's a good thing. We can grab materials from them now, and we can... I like this. I absolutely like this. I might power it a bit more. It seems that the small thrusters are not too good for this. We will see. Bring it back. I want to see how the path of the drone is a bit iffy. It's iffy. Let's say it that way. If it crashes into something, I will not be happy. You need to fly higher, drone. You definitely need to fly higher. It's doing it. It is, and it's really being not really careful. It just goes a few centimeters up to redock here. Nice. Nice. I'm happy with this. I'm definitely happy with this. This is how I want to handle the drones from now on. So the drones that are not automatically flying, we will call in and move with the transmitter magic there, and the drones. These drones again. I want to definitely know if I have enough ice in there now. It's the whole thing is now giving me pain because I need this connector to be full to see if the drone works. Otherwise I need to rework the whole thing with maybe some sorters and go back into this. I wouldn't be happy about it, but maybe it will be okay. And the drone needs some work too. I might set all these buttons up on the remote control too, and the text panel too, so that I hopefully don't have all this stuff on top of here. Again, the other drones, this one I kept the whole button panel small with a small screen, and again I could also do the whole thing with this drone. But for all the test drones I made, I kind of wanted to be careful and be able to steer them from the outside. This is the first one that really runs with just this small pedal and everything set up to be autonomous, kind of. It's ooh. That makes me awfully happy. Good, but people, I think that's all for today. I think we have done. Well, again, this was a whole thing over multiple days with having me start a recording and then not using it because it was just too long ago. I'm done with this. So we need to. This will be now a thing where I don't specifically go into details. I will just set up the drones as needed and hopefully don't bring my world to the knees with. It's good right now. The simulation speed is good. I had 70 before, so this is not bad. I'm happy with this now. I might set up another drone on Object 85 to replace the pipeline there too, and then see where else that stuff is kind of needed, where else I need to maybe use more drones. I want to try a big one. I want to try a big drone, so maybe I could put the hydrogen tanker in and see if I can set that thing up to transmit hydrogen. That would be the coolest thing. I have to see if that works out. To have that thing travel longer distances. Maybe I can set that up so that I don't know if that works. I have to figure stuff out. But for now, I can now send drones around, have them fly automatically to positions where I want them to go. That's the most important part right now. Good, but people, I think that's all for today. I hope you liked this episode. If you did, then please leave a like on the video. If you're new here, then consider subscribing. Good start for the videos is at episode 617, but maybe continue without understanding this world and just being here, and hopefully in the near future or in the future we can do more space engineers, maybe in a newer world. I don't know, maybe the grid AI needs me to restart everything. We will see. No, episode 1000, that's the goal. That's where we are going, and we're close to it. Good people, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. See ya, guys.